Hey guys, Giovanni Williams here. I just want to discuss something that's on my mind. Um, I don't really like to use how must I say that? I really don't like to use animals to describe human beings. Sorry about that. I don't really like to use animals to describe human beings, but sometimes it's good to do that for people to understand what you're trying to say, so they really get a base of what's going on. hmm Laptop's acting up this morning. Anyway, like I was saying, okay, I'm gonna say I'm not well. I'm not even sorry about saying it. So let's just go. Black people today have a real um, mentality that's I don't want to say despicable, but the mentality of black people today is really strange, and I would compare it to those of a sheep. Why would I compare it to those of a sheep? A sheep has a sheep is as loyal to its shepherd in the sense of what the shepherd can get from the sheep and what the shepherd can give to the sheep. That's it. You don't hear about a sheep rushing to a shepherd's defense. Maybe it has happened. I don't know. I never heard about it. But basically, the relationship between a sheep and a shepherd is the shepherd protects the sheep, and the sheep gives the shepherd, whether it's wool, milk, whatever the case may be. So that's basically the relationship between the shepherd and the sheep. Why do I use that analogy? Is because it's very simple. Black people today, or must I say, African people today, especially in the African diaspora around the world, today have a mentality of they're more they are more inclined to protect people that do them wrong. So basically, the sheep mentality. That's where the sheep mentality comes in. How does it pan out? It's simple. Black people would never stand up for another black person who's out there trying to enlighten them, trying to help them to become better people. They won't even support the cause. They won't. But on the other hand, you have white supremacy that is breaking them down mentally, physically, spiritually, all these things, and they would quicker run to the aid and rescue of white people than anything else in the world. You basically have to have catastrophic events for black people to join together to supposedly have one voice. And even with that being said, it's not even a situation where it's something that lasts for generations. Okay, hence, Black Lives Matter. You know, you rarely have people standing out. People, all lives matter. Who again? Black people, African people again, saying all lives matter. Listen, I respect the fact that we're trying to protect everybody, but if as many Chinese, European Americans, or Indian Americans were being shot down in the street, abused, misused, or their human rights being violated, I understand our lives matter. Plain and simple. Okay? Back to the sheep and the shepherd. You have you had a situation with Dr. Umar Johnson. Okay? Now look what happened. Instead of people rush to his aid, even if he was wrong. Okay, let's say he was wrong. He was wrong. Okay, let's put it this way. He was wrong. Instead, people rush to his aid and say, you know what? What this man is doing for the black community, we respect. and we honor and we standing by his side no matter what happened? People pull out donations, he's being slandered. You know what I'm saying? So the momentum Dr. Umar Johnson had going in, it slowed down. Because what? His people didn't stand by his side. Okay? Where am I going with this? It's simple. Black people celebrate Columbus Day. It's a holiday and everything. You know, black people celebrate Independence Day. See where I'm going with the sheep story? So only a sheep would give to an unruly master. Only a sheep will do that. Only a sheep would do that. No other animal will do that. Okay? So it's even a dog will turn against a master that's doing him bad. Even a dog would do that. So I'm not saying we are dogs, I'm not saying we're animals, but our mentality needs to change. Okay? Christopher Columbus went over to the Americas, if that's what they want to call it, slaughtered people with, listen, and he went over there with priests, Catholic priests. Um, he went over there with criminals because the European countries wasn't sending regular guys over there. They filled up those ships with criminals and sent them in Columbus. And anything happened, they would die. Basically, that was it. It was either to them it was a win-win. If we find whatever over there, it's a win, and if we over there and all them die, it's a win. Okay, so for them it was a win-win situation to load up the boat with a bunch of criminals and send them over on a journey they never expect people to return. That being said, we celebrate Christmas after being economically and systematically oppressed for years, 500 years, 400 years. Okay, we still put all our money into Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all those things. Only a sheep mentality would allow us to do that. Okay, I'm not American, but am I not touched by what is going on in America? Hell no, I am. I'm a black man as well. I want to see black people rise up as well. I want to see good for everybody black. Understand where I'm coming from? Whether they're criminal or not. Because what does white supremacy do? What does they support their own? Columbus is a mass murderer, and he has a day. You see the difference? A mass murderer has a day, a special day in American history. Christopher Columbus. And I sure bet if you go along the line, George Washington was a slave owner. He has he is hailed. J. Edgar Hoover, a criminal. He is hailed. There's a building named after him, a street. You know what I'm saying? So where we that's the difference. The mentality has to change. In order for us to see change in our lives, our mentality has to change. And I sure bet there are a lot of people out there who want to see Dr. Boyce Watkins fall. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who want to see him fall. And the man is doing great work. He's enlightening people of financial freedom. But do we jump on the bandwagon? No. You see, we don't want to spend our money where it would make a difference. You see, this is what black people all around want to do. Okay? Sit down and wait for Jesus to come out of the sky, save us from sin, save us from being oppressed. And the worst part about it is, he gave us the mental strength and the capability to do that for ourselves. You understand? So I'm sick and tired of seeing that a young girl has to be dragged all over the school floor for something to happen. You see, my personal opinion is, if this man doesn't lose his pension and psychological damage he has to pay this young lady for the rest of her life, then that is justice. That is justice. And the teacher as well. I don't care if the teacher wanted her out of the class, the teacher as well should face some consequences for not stopping him from doing what he was doing. You see? But we don't want to make no change. See, we waiting for Christmas to come around. We waiting for Christmas because then we can go get things on layaway. You understand? Give money back to Massa. Give our money back to Massa. Make sure Massa feel good. Make sure Massa feel alright. You know, and not thinking of ourselves, not thinking of our future. You know, so we need to come better than this. I mean all of us, wall round, wall round, wall round. I think what would shake this world today is when black people all over, talking about from Africa to Europe to the Caribbean to North America to South America, if black people wall round stood up and said, you know what, enough is enough. If we don't see changes within such and such and such a time, we shutting everything down. You see, and they're smart because they know. You see, and that's the thing with white supremacy. They set up a structure where if you do that, it's called economic terrorism. So they will hold you accountable to trying to fight for your freedom. You understand? But the most important thing is what is important. That is the most important thing. What is important? Is it a life of systematic and economic oppression that continues to pass on to generation, 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 or freedom? To be free from oppression, to be free from being systematically and economically oppressed, to be free from being um, racially segregated for no reason whatsoever. Okay, and one of the things that puzzles me the most is how are we not standing up and making an effort to make sure our history is being shown in a way where it can bring change to our children's life. You know, black people spend a lot, millions and millions and billions of dollars. If we just take that money that we preparing to spend, and then next month we take that money and we call on black leaders such as Dr. Boyce Watkins, Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Phil Valentine. We look for other black leaders in Africa, in the Caribbean, and in Europe that have the mental capacity to start building buildings and setting up an economic structure where all black people world round can be free, then it doesn't make any sense talking anymore. Then it's basically we enjoy being in the situation that we are. It's basically that simple. Okay? Because if we can generate billions of dollars in the space of 2 weeks for companies that don't even give back, what can we do for ourselves? And that is the biggest problem with black people, African people. Their self-hatred is at such a high level that they don't even want to see themselves progress. Not even their children they want to see progress. But anyway, I think I ramble off long enough. And we need to come out of the sheep mentality. We gotta break loose of that sheep mentality. We need to break loose because our children are suffering. We are suffering as people all around. Look at Africa. Africa is suffering. Our health is deteriorating. Okay, come on now. We need to be free. We need to be completely free from oppression. And only we can do that. We can't do it with a sheep mentality. Anyway, that's it. My name is Giovanni Williams. And remember, as I always say, guys, don't be a dream chaser. Be a dream creator. Let's create our own dreams. That's it. I'm out.